Hello ladies and gents, welcome to another video. Something a little bit different today. Well, kind of different. I've done these before. But this is a 65-inch TCL 4K TV. I bought this as faulty on eBay for £100 and £30 delivery. That's around about 160 US dollars. It's not a bad TV, it's not the best TV, but it's a TV. And hopefully today we're going to be able to fix it. So apparently the issue with this is just that it's got a faulty backlight. And I'll say just very, very loosely because the problem with a faulty backlight is that this thing needs to come out. That's the screen. And that is the most expensive and irreplaceable part of the TV. It's not irreplaceable for any kind of technical limitations, but just the fact that it's more expensive to actually buy a replacement screen than it is to actually buy the TV. The manufacturers won't sell them to us. They'll only sell them if we want to buy hundreds of thousands of them. So if you are new to the channel, my name's Hakko. I'm an electronics technician. I mainly work on games consoles, but I do other things as well, such as TVs occasionally when it tickles my fancy. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to get subscribed. It's really lonely here. Look, I'm all alone with the big TV. Please subscribe. But anyway, let's get into the repair. Alright, so excusing the poor lighting, as you can see, we've got a 65-inch TV. Nothing special about this. It's 4K. You know, it's not the best, like I said, but it's not the worst either. It's TCL, which is a fairly decent brand. I do have TCL TVs in the house, so I know that they're going to be okay, sort of thing. But one thing that I've also bought is the replacement backlight, which I'm obviously going to need. And I say backlight, but, well, there's 9 of them. Is it 9 or 10? Let me count. 10. Apparently I can't count. So there's 10 strips here. And basically what these are is, you know, it's just basically a bunch of LEDs with a connector on. And they're fairly straightforward. You can repair the backlights, but the problem is with these ones is they've got these diffusers in them. And when I used to repair TVs back in the day, I used to try and get these off, but they'd never stick back down properly. So you're better off just basically replacing the entire strip, or, more realistically, replace all of the strips, because if you try and replace just one strip, you're going to end up with bright spots. You're going to end up with some spots that are lighter than others, and you don't really want that. So ideally, you want to take one that works, but one that's been, part of an entire set sort of thing. So basically, the way that these are made up is they'll go like this, they'll sit like this inside the TV with a couple of panels in front of it. You've got some diffusers and things like that. But they sit like this and they sit in a array. That's why it's called a backlight array. So you should have, 10 of them. This is apparently the correct one for this TV. I'm not sure. I haven't actually opened it up. But yeah, like I said, the main issue with this is obviously the fact that this has got to come out. There's a couple of scuffs on this, but it is what it is. There's a little bit of damage there to the actual screen, but you're not going to see that when it's turned on. It's absolutely fine. When you first turn this on, okay, it didn't seem to want to turn on. What are you doing? This turned on when it got delivered. There you go. Right, so did you see that flash then? So basically, I can see an outline of the TCL logo there, which means that the screen itself is coming on, the panel's coming on, but the backlight's not. And you'll see that it did get a flicker, obviously, when it first turned on, and that means that it's trying to light up the backlight. But because there's an issue with one or more of the LED strips, it's shutting the backlight off, obviously for protection and stuff like that. So I think this is showing up on the screen, but can you see just here? And just across here, I can actually see an outline of something that says no signal, because obviously there's no source connected to this. So that there is the screen actually on and working, basically. So I know that this screen is good. I thought I'd just get that quickly while I've got the camera in my hand, while I'm trying to adjust things. But I know the screen itself is good, and, as long as I've got the correct backlight, and as long as it's not a board issue that I can't figure out, we should be good to go. We should be able to get this fixed, as long as I don't break the damn screen. Right, so I'm going to try and turn this TV so as it's on the, so as the screen is facing that way. Really do hope that I manage to protect this screen with this mat that I've got here. It's not very soft, but hopefully it should do the job. It's only a temporary table, like I said. I don't have the room for these things on the normal bench. Right, okay, so I've got all of the screws out that I can see. I should be able to get to that there now. So if we take a look here, we can see that we've got some cables which are connected to the main board. So the way that these are built, they're really simple, actually. So here you've got, well, this side you've got the power board. Be super careful if you are using this as any sort of guide. Number one, you're an absolute buffoon. Don't use me as a guide for TVs. But number two, be super careful with the power supply, because even after you've unplugged it, there's still going to be power in there, and that is going to hurt like a mofo if you touch where you shouldn't touch. I'm not a power supply expert, and even I know they're dangerous. So just be really, really careful. Here you've got the main board. This is where all of the logic is done, you know, like all of the decoding and stuff like that. It receives the signals and sends it out through to the TCON board. The TCON board, or the driver board, basically, this is what drives the LCD panel itself. And then you've got that which goes to these boards here. These are the well, I don't know what these are called, but these are basically the boards which control the different sections of the TV. And then you've got the panel, and that's pretty much it. But underneath here, and underneath the screen and the layers for the screen, you've got the LED backlight, which is obviously, you know, that's going to need replacing to get this working properly. So we're going to unplug these, what we need to unplug, so that I can remove a little bit of this bulk out of the way. There we go. Okay, so basically the screws are just, you know, dotted around the back of this. And then I've got to figure out how to actually get into the screen itself. Right, well, I've just realised that I wasn't actually facing the TV, but never mind. I guess I was talking to myself. So, obviously now I've lifted the screen up. I've removed this bottom plate. This screen is pretty much loose now. I don't want to pull on that because I don't want to damage it. But if I mess up here, it's game over. But the only problem is, if I mess up here, I'm not going to know until the very end. That's the only problem. So, unfortunately, we've just got to go for it. So, I'm going to use my suction cups here. This is the most nerve-wracking part of this. I just really hope that, number one, I don't end up breaking the screen, although I haven't broken it already. And number two, that the suction cups don't break it. To be honest, they are designed for screens, but you never know. Right, is that secure? I believe it is. Let's lock those. There we go. See, so if I'd have just pulled on that then, it would have likely cracked the screen, because that isn't free yet. Wow, this is nerve-wracking. Okay, it is just adhesive, right. This is probably one of the worst screens I've taken out, I'll be honest. The simple reason being that they're not usually stuck in like this, or at least none that I've ever come across have been. Right, so the screen is loose, or at least there it's loose. I'm thinking now that I've probably got to find some sort of an adhesive to even put this screen back in. Okay, I'm going to have to be incredibly careful here and try and get the bottom of this. Oh yes. Scared ya? So now the next thing is to get these layers out, and it's important with these layers here that we don't mix them up, because they do go in a certain orientation in order to distribute the light evenly. There we go, so they're out. Alright, so there's all the standoffs removed, apart from one, because, well, oh right then, maybe, yeah. I just left them there, I done screwed them. Okay, right, well, that was a lot of standoffs. More standoffs than a Western. I think I'm funny, I do. I'm wondering if I can just possibly cut the paper. The problem is the paper is reflective, so it's going to need the paper there. But it's probably better to just cut around it than it is to actually remove all of it, sort of thing. Maybe. Probably is better to cut around it than to remove all of it. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to unplug all of these. So I'm going to leave the cables basically as they are. Ah, oh, damn it. Oh, you son of a bitch. Well, I kind of expected that to happen then. The freaking wires come out of the bottom backlight. God damn. Right, I'm going to need some pliers. I can repair that, but yeah, I mean, it's come out clean. It's come out with the pin and stuff, so I should just be able to push the pin back in. That's annoying. Right, never mind that for now. Let's try and get these backlights out. And that's what happens, you see, when you try and get backlights out when you're not a professional. Damn it. Yeah, some of these are gonna pop off. I can try and put them back on, but I mean, honestly, I'm not that bothered about this backlight. I mean, I'm bothered. I want to try and save it if I can, but you know, yeah, they're gonna pop off. All right, well, let's not worry too much about that. Let's just let them all pop. Why not? Once you pop, you can't stop, and all of that. Alright, I think it's pretty clear that I'm not saving this backlight now. So I'll probably just desolder all, well, test all the LEDs, desolder them, steal them, and yeah, just throw the backlight away. Alright, time for me to get some pliers, just so I can disconnect all of those. Didn't exactly go to plan. I didn't want these to come off, but, well, such is life, I suppose. Right, I've got some pliers here, some long nose pliers to be exact, and yeah, let's just try and remove these connectors. I've got to figure out where that wire goes in a minute. I'm sure I'll work it out. Right, time to pop the new ones on. So I'll fix them in place in a minute. I've got to find the right ones as well though, bear in mind. Right, so that's going to be a bottom one, because there's a connector in the middle. That's going to be one of the main ones. I'm kind of hoping that I don't end up having to solder these wires on, but if I do, then I do. You know, it is what it is. So I'm just looking for the connectors in the middle. I'll show you one of those up close in a minute, but the rest of them, they can go anywhere. It's just the ones with the connectors in the middle that have to go on the bottom. I'm also going to need to find a way to fix these in, because they are usually glued in. That's a bottom one. So what I mean by a bottom one is this one's got a connector in the middle and on the end, whereas this one hasn't. So that one there has only got a connector on the end, so that means that this is obviously one of the middle ones, and these are the bottom ones that connect to the main wires that go to the main board. Okay, there we go. So there's all of the backlights connected. But I am going to need to test everything before I go any further, because I want to make sure that the backlight actually comes on. So very carefully, I'm going to connect up the power cable and hope that the backlights all fire up. I saw them light up. Ah, there's a broken wire here. And that's underneath the tape. Could it really be that? It's underneath the tape. I don't think I would have done that. Look, there's actually a broken wire underneath the tape here. I can't see how that would have happened for me. I actually do think I've got the wrong strip there. I think that one goes there. I'll show you that in a second, but I can't see how that would have been me because it's underneath the tape. So if we look just here, there's a black wire, and the black wire is underneath the tape. And that is broken, as in completely broken. I can't see how that would have been me. I mean, I'm not saying it wasn't me, but I am saying that I can't see how it would have been me. It's just there. Because the wire's underneath the tape, right? So, how could that possibly have been me? I can't see how that could have been me. Maybe I'm just making excuses for myself, but... well, that's rather odd, isn't it? Let's just temporarily botch this wire together. I'm not going to leave it like that. I just want to give it some power while it's connected. Whoa, that's bright. Oh, that's bright. Wow. Okay. She's working. Oh, I didn't expect that to be that bright. Whew. That nearly knocked me out. I don't know if that was the cause, or if that's happened during disassembly. But that backlight is now working. Wow, I'm glad I spotted that. Wow, that nearly blinded me. Whew. Now I need a way to fix this. Yeah, I don't know if that was the cause or not. I think it possibly could have been, but I don't know how. Well, that's rather annoying because I could have saved myself 50 quid if that was the case. You know what? I'll never know. I'll never know if that was like that to start with. It don't make any sense though because it was underneath the tape. So, yeah. I don't see how that could have been me that did it. But I also don't see how it could have actually happened. Well, some things you just don't know the answer to, I guess. But now I need to find a way to bodge that. Well, I'll say bodgy, not bodgy. Let's not worry about that right now. What I think I'm gonna have to do is just bring my soldering iron over, because I can't really just tape it up because that wouldn't sit right with me. What I think I need to do is just get all of these in position, bring my soldering iron over here, and basically solder the wire on and then heat shrink it. Probably the best thing. So, I mean, it's getting really, really late right now. So I'm thinking, mind you, I want to see that screen working tonight. I'm contemplating finishing it up tomorrow. I mean, it's almost 3 AM. Okay, I think that is probably close enough, honestly. I would say that's probably close enough. As long as the lights are not being obstructed, they're within the range. So I think it's going to be absolutely fine like that. So now I'm just going to literally use this double-sided tape, but leave one side of the tape covered up. So I'm not going to actually make it double-sided. I'm just going to leave it as it is. And damn it, I've just realised I'm supposed to be doing that that wire. Supposed to be fixing that wire. Okay, I've got my soldering iron set up, so I haven't got the stand or anything to clean the tip, so yeah, it's just one of them things. Just a little bit of a ghetto setup, but whatever, it'll work. It'll be absolutely fine. So I'm just going to grab a little bit of heat shrink tubing. There we go, that'll do. Just need to unroot this a little bit, I guess. Okay. Okay, so there's the wire joined together. A little bit of solder here as well. Just wait for this soldering iron to get up to temperature. I shouldn't need any flux because there is flux inside the solder, so it should be fine. There we go. Should do it. And just make sure it's all protected. I don't want to obviously short it out on the chassis because the chassis is earthed to the main AC power. So you don't want to be shorting it out to that, which is why I needed to solder it and then heat shrink it, because otherwise it's going to cause no end of problems. That should do it. There we go. Good stuff. Happy days. Let's get this lot out of the way. Right, and now if I power this on, it should, the key word here is should, it should work. Right, avert your eyes. Why are you not working now? Because some of the wires are unplugged. Well, it might actually help if everything was connected. There we go. Beautiful. Okay, right, it's reassembly time. I'm going to get all of this back together. I'm going to straighten everything out, tape all of this paper up and things like that. Get the screen back on. Hopefully don't break it. More to the point, I hope I didn't break the screen taking it out, but we're not going to know that until we put it fully back together. So yeah, let's do that now. Right, I think what I'm going to do is just get all of this lined up, get it connected, and test it. Don't really want to be wasting time bonding the screening if it doesn't work. So I've got to make sure that everything's okay. Okay, there we go. So that's all connected up. Oh no, it's got lines in it. Oh no. Oh, okay, I can fix that. Right, I can fix that with a bit of tape. It looks like we've got some slight damage to cut a couple of these ribbons here, which I can fix. Yeah, I can fix that. Yeah, that's fine. I can fix that. Right. So it looks like there's a contact here on this part of the screen. Actually, when the bezel's on, that'll all be pushed in, so that's probably normal when it's not all screwed down. But that's working. There's no bright spots on the screen, from what I can see. Yeah, I think that's okay. From what I can see, there's no bright spots. It's not broken. Obviously, there's a couple of lines here, but there is a bezel to go on the bottom of this, and when I push down on the bottom of the screen, so just like that, you see how it goes? I'm literally just tapping on that. So when the bezel's screwed into that, those lines shouldn't be there. And there's the same. It's the same with this one here as well. When I tap on the screen very lightly, it goes away. So those lines shouldn't realistically be there once I've reassembled everything. It's probably normal. I don't know. You know, obviously when the screen's not being pressed down, there's no pressure on the screen at all. It's just loose. So I don't think that's anything I've done. It could be, but I don't think it is. But it should go away when it's all screwed down, I hope. There is actually a slight bright spot there, but you might not see that when it's actually on. And that could be pressure off the cups as well. So, yeah. I don't know. You might not see it when it's actually on. Alright. Well, now I've got to find a way to bond this in. I'm thinking B7000. Which is the same stuff that I use on things like Nintendo Switches, mobile phones and that sort of stuff. If I just put a bead of that around the edges, and then the bottom, that'll get held in with the bezel anyway. So, yeah, I'm thinking that. I hope that's okay. But yeah, I'll try that, and if not, then I'm going to have to buy some adhesive, because I haven't got any proper adhesive for screens, apart from the B7000 that I normally use. Trying to lift it back off again while I just pop some adhesive around the edges. I've still got to be careful here while I'm lifting this, even though it is on suction cups. Don't want to damage this now. Oh no. I've just dropped it. Oh fuck. Oh no. I've wrecked it. It's just slipped out of my hand. Oh no. No, it's gone. Guys, it's gone. It's game over. The final hurdle. Oh man, I can't believe that. I am absolutely gutted. Oh man. The last few seconds. I literally needed to bond it in and that was it. No! Oh, I can't believe I've just done that. Well, guys, I need to end this video because I'm incredibly frustrated. That was the last few seconds. Literally all I had to do was put some glue around the edges and that was it. And it would have been working. It would have been a mint TV. Yeah, you're not even getting a display on it at all. I'm so annoyed. Well, thanks for watching. See you all later.